I'm just going to take you to the camera setup for this particular image. I shot with the Canon 1DS Mark II. The lens was a 28 to 70mm Canon L series, and the focal length for this particular image was 28mm. I did do some other frames on a slightly longer focal length, which I would have preferred, if I'm honest. But the trouble is, I didn't allow enough sky in this particular setup when I was setting the camera up to show a lot of the stars which were present. So I decided to readjust the camera and open up to 28mm. So always bear that in mind. You need to allow enough sky to show your stars if they are going to be present when you're shooting. Exposure was 1 minute 46 seconds at f5. I shot camera raw, 200 ISO, manually focused. Okay, there's no room for autofocus with this this type of setup. I'm often asked about the focusing, and there's two ways of doing it. The preferred way is to get there early, find your camera angle, focus, and then lock the camera down and don't touch it. The other option, if you have to move the camera once it's dark, the other option is to, if you've got a bright torch, is to shine the torch on the object and try and use that to help you focus. It isn't easy, I'll tell you now, to do that, but it is a one-way round of doing it. I use a tripod, which stands to reason. Cable release. Now, I don't always use cable releases. I'll sometimes use the timer on the camera instead of a cable release, but with these type of images, you've got to use a cable release, and the reason is, with my particular cameras anyway, I can't shoot over 30 seconds without using the bulb exposure mode on the camera. And to use the bulb exposure mode, you need to hold the shutter release button down. So, the cable release will allow you to do that. Talking of exposures, this one was, as I said, was 1 minute 46 seconds at f5. Now, there's no hard and fast rules on exposure with these type of images. The good news is, we're not shooting film these days. Well, hopefully we're not. Not that I've got anything against film, but obviously we're talking about digital here, and therefore, if we're shooting digital, we've got instant feedback. So you just trial and error, I'm afraid. You'll be shooting fairly wide open, like I did, and it's just a matter of doing a few test exposures. But I would say you're looking around 2 minutes. You're not going to be far off, depending on the location. So there's a few tips. We'll move on now.